All right, good morning, everyone. Oh, I just did the wrong thing. Okay, cool. All right. First of all, when I logged into TradingView, my settings reset. I'm not sure why. I haven't logged in on any other device. So that was a bit weird. I don't know if anyone else had that issue. Let's erase everything. All right. On the daily time frame, there's a couple zones. I mean, they're not perfect zones, but I'm just gonna mark it out. This looks like a daily zone here. All right, on the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour demand zone, which is good. I like how it's at the bottom of the range. Yesterday, I was seeing if price was going to end up going lower and break this huge range that we've been in, but it looks like it just touched the bottom and it looks like we're kind of bouncing off of it. Doesn't mean I'm bullish on the day, it's just something to note. I could definitely see the market going up or down today. It honestly just depends on how it wants to open. Yesterday opened pretty bearish, and then after that it kind of basically recovered the move. I just saw this another 4-hour demand zone here. Wait. 4 hour. Okay. Yeah, this is good. We have a 4-hour demand zone really close to price. Yeah, about 50 to 70 points away from price. I'm hoping we don't get down here, pretty soon. I'm hoping if we do get down here that it's around 9:30. That's what I'm hoping for. So, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I'm gonna count this wick down here as liquidity in case it wants to get swept. This here looks like a good 3-hour supply zone. And I know we have a couple 3-hour zones. I'm gonna mark it out, but like, I don't really need to mark it out because it's just far away from price. But I'm just gonna mark it out. I know in this area as well, there's a 4-hour supply zone. Same thing, like I really don't need to mark it out because it's far away from price, but I might as well. You know what? This 3-hour zone is actually a 4-hour zone. Okay. On the 2-hour time frame, it looks like we have this 2-hour supply zone here, which I do want to check on a smaller time frame. Let's see how that looks. I mean, like it looks fine on the 5-minute time frame. I just don't like this right here. But I would trust taking a trade off of this area. I'm also pretty sure there's another zone around this area. Down to the 1-hour time frame. Yeah, we have this 1-hour supply zone here. Which I really like. I like how price has been reacting to it. If we mark up the zone, let's just say I ignore that 2 hours on. Maybe I should just keep it. Nah, I'm not gonna keep it because I'm more focused on the 1 hour zone. If you look at price action in this area here, it was a perfect rejection off of it on the 5 minute time frame, which I really love seeing that. It makes me more confident in the trade in the zone. And I'm pretty sure that's it on the 1 hour time frame. I don't see anything else. Let's go to the 90 minute. This also looks like a huge 90 minute supply zone. And it just looks like price has been rejecting it so far, which I could see the market being bearish because of that. We have this area here of resistance that we keep rejecting. So maybe once the market opens up, we could continue this rejection lower. Obviously though, like the market could open up insanely bullish and just rip right past this. If the market gets above 970, then I would take longs. If I take longs, the trade would be something like this. Realistically, I wouldn't hold it for this long. I would just hold it for at least that big of a move because that's all I need. But I do think if we break these highs and stay above it, I think there's a lot of upside potential. And I think if the longs do come in, they could come up to 261, all the way up here to this daily supply zone or this 4 hour supply zone. Another trade idea could be if price comes back up here to retest this area and we start to reject it, then I would take shorts. If I take short off of this area, same thing. I think it could go lower, but I would get out around a very small move because that, again, that's really all I need. Maybe I could hold it on these other accounts that I'm trying to trade today. Hopefully I don't forget to actually place a trade on these accounts like I did yesterday. Okay. Another trade idea could be if price taps this 4 hour demand zone and then we see it bounce, I would take longs. I do want to see where VWAP is first. Okay, yeah, damn. If I take longs in this area here, honestly, I wouldn't like it just because I would just try to target VWAP. I mean, I guess that'd be a good enough trade. 80 points. And again, if I'm in long, I would only target around 60 points or 250 ticks. Another trade idea could be, which I really would like this trade idea, is the shorts. If price gets below 938, if I see a candle close below 938 down here, or sorry, 738. What am I saying? Below 738. Again, the short would be something like this. And I would, if price does end up doing that, I do expect it to come down to the 600s, down to another 4 hour zone. And that would give me a good enough trade. Again, realistically, I'd get out around this area on my main accounts where I'm just getting base hits. Okay, let's go down to the 45-minute time frame. I did see a good 45-minute demand zone here. Now that I look at it though, I'm going to mark it out, but it's just if we do tap this area, I'll be more focused on the 4 hour zone itself. But I'm going to mark it out because I do think it's a really good demand zone. And I don't see anything else. I'm expecting good price action today. I'm expecting a strong open because I do think we are in a really good area of interest. We're at an area of resistance. Doesn't mean I'm bearish. It just means we've had a lot of moves off of this area, a lot of action. So I'm expecting a lot of action since we're around the area, you know? Don't see anything else on the 45-minute time frame. Whoops. Let's go down to the 30-minute. Same thing on the 30-minute time frame. We have this strong demand zone here. So I do like this area down here. I hope if the market opens up that it pushes lower to 780s down here. Even if it goes up, I'll be fine. Oh, this looks like a good 30-minute supply zone here, which is close to price. I do like that. On the 15-minute time frame, ooh, this looks like a strong 15-minute zone, which is good to know. If I do take the shorts here, I would have to be careful for this 15-minute demand zone. So it's just good to know that it's there. This is also a good 15-minute zone. And I think that's really it. I already have the main zones marked out. I kind of have an idea of what trades I would take on NASDAQ. So I don't think I have to keep marking zones. I mean, this is a tiny 10-minute zone. Probably won't take a trade off of it, but I'll mark it down. Okay. This is another 10-minute supply zone here. Which at that point, like, it doesn't really matter because I have a lot of stacked zones. Is this the daily? No. What zone is that? I didn't label one of the zones. Oh, the 2 hour. There, that looks better. I'm just gonna erase the 2 hour zone and focus on these newer zones. Alright, that's all the zones for NASDAQ. I already kind of said the trade ideas. I want to see the market either come up to the 900s or down to 780. And I think from there we should get a good move. Let's look at US 30. And yeah, like I said, when I logged into TradingView, everything was like reset. Like my color settings. I'm not sure why. Where is it? Okay. I feel like something's missing. Okay, maybe not. I think that's good enough. Okay, let's... I do want to see what happened yesterday. Yesterday was pretty tough. On US 30. Okay, US 30 has this daily demand zone, which I've been waiting for the market to tap this area for a while. I think it'd be a good trade off of that area. Oh, here it is. Okay. We got a 4 hour supply zone. We have this 4 hour demand zone down here. Another thing with US 30 is, boom, this pre-market range, which yesterday we didn't break out of. We just literally touched at the top and then went back down, which is really funny because I took the longs. I'm pretty sure. Where is it? I don't know. I took the longs at the top. And it was a mistake. I should have waited for the candle to close. If I waited for the candle to close, I would have caught the shorts on US 30. Where is it? What day is it? Tuesday. Yeah, it was this. Yes, this one right here. I would have caught the shorts literally around this area here. And I know I would have because it was an A plus setup. It's not like I'm making this up. It's just if I waited for the candle to close, the entry would have literally been right here at the break of this wick. And yeah, that would have played out well. Obviously, though, rookie mistake. I didn't wait for the candle to close, so I got shit on. But today's a new day. I'm gonna focus on getting A plus setup today. Okay, on US 30, I see this 1 hour supply zone, which is clean. Another 1 hour demand zone here. And that looks like that's it on the 1 hour time frame. This 1 hour zone is also a 90-minute. So since the 90-minute time frame is bigger than the 1 hour, I'm just going to switch it to the 90-minute zone. FOMC today affect anything? I doubt it. You have an Apex code? Yeah, now I have an Apex code. You can use code Lonnie. It is different than my usual code uptrade. But yeah, I do have a code. First time having a code with Apex, okay? So I don't want people thinking I got the 40K payout because like I made a deal with them or something. Like that's literally not the case. I was not affiliated with them when I got that first 40K payout. That was just me following their rules and getting paid for it. But yeah, if you guys don't know, Apex does have a 90% sell off. And I always say, like, don't buy Apex unless they have the 90% sale. And the time is right now. But again, if you're going to trade with Apex, like, I highly suggest that you know what you're trading. You know the rules that you're trading with. Make sure that you understand trailing drawdown. Because trailing drawdown is no joke. Okay, trailing drawdown, it does suck. So you do have to be like very aware of it. Okay, this looks like a no. That's not zone. I don't see much on US 30. I don't. So with FOMC, where is it? Fuck, what am I looking at? What day is it? 18th. Today isn't like the regular FOMC day. I'm pretty sure it's FOMC minutes. It's okay, they're not even showing it here. Like, what the heck? If it's FOMC minutes, you don't have to worry about it. FOMC minutes is usually like pretty low volume. You won't see a crazy move unless Powell actually says something that like shakes up the markets, which is very rare, but it could happen. Apex sucks because of that. I used to say the same thing. I literally hated Apex. I was like, they're full of bullshit, da da da. But then I was like, what other platform can I trade 20 accounts with? It's only Apex. So I think if you really, really want to scale and you've gotten payouts before, like Apex is for you. If you're a beginner, I would go with Tradeify. That's just how it is. Tradeify has way easier rules. Tradeify, Alpha Futures. If I was a beginner, like I would tell myself, don't trade Apex, because it's too much, too many rules. not only do they have too many rules, they have the trailing drawdown, which is also like not beginner friendly at all. Almost all prop firms have consistency rules. I mean, yeah, it's not too surprising because I feel like they need that. Consistency rules aren't even bad either. I mean, that's literally what a trader is a consistent trader. So what's the issue with the consistency rule? You know? Okay, I'm not seeing too much on US 30. What time is it? Oh my gosh. It's 9:20. I gotta lock in here. On US 30, I think Nasdaq looks better. I do like the zones on US 30, but the zones on Nasdaq are way better. There's way bigger time frames on Nasdaq. So I'm most likely gonna focus more on Nas today. Okay. And it's not like that every day. Sometimes I think US 30 looks better, so I look at it more. Other times I think Nasdaq looks better. Sometimes I think both of them look better, so it really depends on how they open. Another thing with Apex is like they they make it really attractive for beginners. You know, like they make it cheap, and I feel like that attracts a lot of beginners, which is not good because a lot of beginners are gonna get trapped in the trailing drawdown and in their rules. That's why I say like if you're gonna trade Apex, just have some sort of experience with prop firms. I would suggest that you already have payouts with prop firms before like going with Apex, and of course understand their rules. If you've gotten a couple payouts and like you want to scale, which is what happened to me, I was looking at okay, what prop firm can have the most accounts, and it was just Apex. That was literally the only reason why I went with Apex. It's funny though, cause like my first payout was with Apex about 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, and then I stopped trading them, and now I'm back, and I had my biggest month yet. So it's like a full circle moment. Okay, I think I marked up Nasdaq enough. We got 7 more minutes for market to open. Let's look at US 30, some trade ideas. I mean, there's just a couple. Okay, on US 30, I mean, if it taps this 1 hour demand zone and I see it reject, I think it could be a good long. Yeah, it would definitely be a good long from here. If I did take this long, I would target all the way up here at 720. Another trade idea could be the opposite of that trade, which is shorts from there. So if price gets below 580, I think it would be a good short, at least up until the 500s. Then from there, we have to see if it wants to break past this 15-minute demand zone. Which, if you look at this 15-minute demand zone, I would say is a really strong zone. So if the selling wants to break through this, it has to be strong. Another trade idea could be off of this 15-minute supply zone. Again, shorts would be a good one, or longs off of there. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of zones on the smaller time frame. So I don't know. I'll keep an eye on US 30, but I do think Nasdaq looks better. US 30 could also have like just a crazy open, which I thought it was gonna happen yesterday because that first 1 minute candle like was crazy. Um, and that's also why I didn't wait for confirmation yesterday, because I saw the crazy green candle. I saw it breaking past the zone, but if I just waited literally like 20 more seconds for the candle to close, I wouldn't have gotten in the long. So today definitely gonna be more focused on waiting for confirmation, which is hard. It is hard waiting for confirmation if the markets are like really volatile. If you wait for confirmation and the markets are volatile, you might actually miss out on the move, because you were waiting for confirmation. So it's just tough. It's like a split second decision. But damn, I'm stuttering. I like where the markets are today. I think they're Nasdaq and US 30 are both at, well, maybe just Nasdaq, a good area of interest, like on the bigger time frame. We got 4 more minutes. Okay, and I have VWAP up today. Not gonna forget, like yesterday. That was also another mistake I did yesterday, was not having my VWAP up, which is funny because I was talking about it earlier, like in the stream yesterday, and then I didn't even use it. Alright, I'm reading the chat now. My bad. Apex is designed to make you fail, but people could do it. Yeah. I mean, that's how every platform is. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. I mean, that's just how they make their money, especially Apex, because they don't have like a live trader program. And you also never hear of people trading live with Apex or like getting moved to live. You don't hear about that. You just hear about them closing their accounts, requesting 100%. That's all you hear with Apex. So it makes sense that they have all those rules. Be seeing all the payouts, a lot of consistency from you. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Just wanted to say congrats. You're a great trader. Thank you. Yesterday, I posted a loss on Instagram, and like, first of all, I posted the loss, and then I posted the second trade, which was like a nice winner. And it's just like the comments on it is actually crazy. And like the worst part is that the comments have likes. Like one of the hate comments has like 84 likes. And it's just like, do people not understand that in order to be a good trader, you need to take losses? You need to actually lose to win. It's just part of it. And it's literally why I don't like posting losses, because it's just always some BS that comes with it. But I do like posting it because it's just like, that's the reality. Yes, I get payouts, but I also lose. Okay, 50 seconds. What's your bias? I don't have one. Just waiting for the market to open here. I will say I'm mainly looking at NASDAQ today. Okay. Jeez. This Google update has to go. Okay, there we go. Jeez. All right, here's market open. Looks like NASDAQ is going to come down to this 780 area, which is good for me. I did want it to tap this area and see if I'm going to buy or sell off of it. We'll see how this 1 minute candle closes though. Damn, my chair is like. There we go. All right, let's see. Okay, I mean, it closed out rejecting the zone, which is hard because if it actually jumps from here, most likely gonna miss it. And US 30 also bounced from this demand zone here. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's bouncing from this 45-minute and 4-hour demand zone. We'll see though. I think if it really bounces, it has to get above VWAP. So I'm definitely not going to take a buy just yet, even if it breaks structure to the upside, because then I'd have to worry about VWAP. US 30 is nasty, like nasty short open, 200 points down, then 200 points up. That's actually insane. Crazy volume on US 30. Okay, Nasdaq's what is it called? It's touching up on this area again. And it might bounce off of it again. But again, my entry confirmation like requires a breaker structure to the upside. Which, yeah, would be this right here. But I kind of don't want to take a long on NASDAQ because of VWAP. US 30 is also failing to get above VWAP so far, which is something to note. All right. Right now, I'm honestly just waiting for NASDAQ to either push past VWAP or move lower. That's really what I'm waiting for here. But I would say like so far it does look like it's bouncing off of this 45-minute and 4-hour demand zone. It's just failing to get above VWAP. And it's also failing to get back above this zone here. Okay, that was the first 5 minutes. I think there's really good volume so far. All right, let's see how this 1 minute candle closes. Okay, it looks like it's gonna close out again, jumping off from this demand zone here. US 30 also like it bounced off of a demand zone, but it's also kind of struggling to close above VWAP. Let's see, what time is it? Okay, 9:36. Still early on into open. The 1 minute time frame looks a bit rough so far. I don't know. To me, it looks like it wants to go lower. At least so far. It just looks like it's struggling to go higher. Okay, let's see if it closes below this white line here. Because we have bounced off of it a couple times. Okay, okay. Also, usually, if on the 1 minute I see it break structure to the upside off of a demand zone, I would take longs usually. But in today's case, there's been like a bunch of fake outs already. Um, I also just haven't seen the opportunity to like get a good entry from the longs unless I guess from down here. And it's also just it's been struggling to get above VWAP. If it gets above VWAP, then good. Then damn, if it gets above VWAP, I'm gonna have to wait for it to tap 890, which is far away. Maybe not. It's not that far away. Okay, this is good. It's the first really strong 1 minute candle here on NASDAQ. Let's see if it's strong enough to push past VWAP. Okay, okay. Looks like it rejected VWAP again. Yeah, like that was a nasty 1 minute candle, but no continuation with it. So that's not good. We got 5 more minutes for this opening range to close. So far, the opening range is pretty small. US 30 is pushing up, which is good. I might have to look at US 30. Um, if it taps 840 up here, then I definitely look at it. Look to trade it. Yeah, US 30's opening range is way crazier. I'm gonna start looking at US 30 here. Okay, let's see. Right now, I'm just waiting for US 30 to tap this 90-minute supply zone, which we're approaching pretty fast. I'm pretty sure this 90-minute zone is the top of the range, which is going to be a really good area to trade. Don't know if I'm going to buy or sell off of it. It depends on how the market reacts once we tap into it. But I will say, in order for me to take longs, I do want to see a close at least above 862 or above 857. So we'll see. So far, I mean, it looks like there's way better direction on US 30, which is interesting. Because I felt like US 30 didn't have that much zones. NASDAQ has a lot of zones, but it doesn't have too much volume. So it really hasn't gone anywhere. I think if the 15-minute candle closes above VWAP, that's going to be really good for NASDAQ. Okay, US 30 tapped into this 90-minute supply zone. If US 30 gets below the 800s, then I would take shorts. It looks insanely bullish though. So it looks like it's going to push past. I don't know, if I take a long, like, I do want to wait for the candle close. I don't want to make the same mistake as yesterday. Let's see how this candle closes. Okay, nasty rejection off of this area. Yeah, if it gets below the 800s, I would short this. It looks like it's already breaking structure to the downside. Let's see if it gets below this white line. Okay, and it did. Oh, it looks like it's bouncing. Again, if this candle closes above 57, I would long it. Just waiting for confirmation here. Which I'm not getting. I do have a sell order here. If it gets below 802, then I'm going to try to short it. Okay, I'm in a short here on US 30. I'm going to put my stop at 856. I'm going to try to target VWAP here. Alright, I'm going to put this at break even as well. We've already hit a 1-to-1. My TP2 is around 700. TP3 is 650. $120. Okay, I'm gonna get out around the 80s. That's really all that I need. Nice move down. It touched VWAP, so it could bounce out of here, not gonna lie. We're kind of hoping that it just wicks right through it here. This is a good TP though. Right at VWAP. Let's see if we get one more push lower. This is the last minute of the 5-minute candle. So it could create a nasty wick, or it could push lower quite a bit. Let's see. 680, 680. A little bit, a little bit. Just a little bit lower. And I'm out of this trade. And I'm out. That was it. Let's see if it closes below VWAP. I am still in this trade on some other accounts, so let's see how that plays out. I feel like I should lock in money here, but I also just want to let it play out. It could definitely bounce here though. But I think if it breaks past it, shit, it could go down to 580. Wow, NASDAQ. NASDAQ is not good at all. I'm trying to see if US 30 wants to come back down. Basically back down to the range here. Or if it wants to bounce off of VWAP. Either way though, I'm satisfied with today. I caught the nice win on the main account, which is what I was really focused on. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's bouncing off of VWAP so far. Trying to let the trade breathe. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I get stopped break even. It kind of looks like it definitely bounced off of VWAP so far. Let's see the 5 minute. I mean, it has 2 more minutes to close, but it already is already kind of bouncing off of here. Yeah, either way, it's a huge green day. And now that I realize too, I got a very late entry on these accounts. Let me see if I'm saved by this new candle. Okay. Alright, well. That was it for those accounts. That was it for me today as well. It's not even 10 a.m. and I'm done. This is really good though. The balances on the accounts are like over what I requested. Or sorry, over the balance of what I had after I requested, which is good. I I also had a perfect TP on these accounts, which was slightly below VWAP. Wow, definitely bounce off of VWAP. Nasdaq, I don't know. Nasdaq looks very choppy. I'm glad I didn't trade it because I feel like if I traded Nasdaq, I would have gotten waked out of some sort of trade. The only way I would have caught a good trade on Nasdaq if I bought it down here at this white line, which I think it would have been really hard for me to do because I like to wait for confirmation. I mean, another good entry could have been maybe the longs off of this once this wick here broke, then the stop loss would have been like tight there. I mean, it would have played out, but not as good as US 30 shorts did, which I'm really surprised this fucking long came in. Because my thinking was, okay, since I took the short off the top of the range here, that we're just going to go back down to the bottom. But we recovered nicely, so now I'm thinking we're definitely going to break these highs. The buying just looks really strong. If you look at the 1 minute time frame as well, it came down to retest this demand zone, which was a very crazy move down, 200-point move down, nasty recovery up, which just shows how strong the buying is. Broke past VWAP. The short that I caught was just a pullback. Just a pullback. This is probably not the move of the day here. And then it bounced off of VWAP. It's crazy. Usually if I catch a really good winning trade, like, I don't want to say it'll be the move of the day, but like it'll be a really big move. But in today's case, it was the opposite. I sold it at the perfect time, which was around VWAP, at least on the other accounts. What contracts did you use on US 30? On these accounts, I used 2 US 30 contracts, which is pretty aggressive. And then on my main accounts, I used 1 contract, which was 120 points. And that gave me around 546, 550 in each account, which is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Obviously, I could have aimed for more, but my goal with these accounts is to do the bare minimum and just get their capped payout. Yeah, I think US 30 looks very bullish. Same thing with Nasdaq. Nasdaq bounced off of a 4-hour demand zone. And even though it's kind of chopping up, or it was chopping up, it got above VWAP. Yeah, there's a lot of good moves happening. Do you mostly trade YM? Like, um, no. Sorry, I read a funny comment, but I mostly trade Nasdaq, I would say. It's funny because I was looking at Nasdaq. I thought Nasdaq looked better today before the market opened up, and then when it opened up, I didn't like the price action on it. And if we look at US 30 around the same time, it started to have cleaner price action. So I liked it. Another thing is I didn't know if I was gonna buy or sell off of this area here until I saw how the market reacted to that area, right? Like, these 1 minute candlesticks kept closing below 856, that 50% line, or the dash line here. So that's why I took the short. The short could have been a bit higher, but I wanted to wait for extra confirmation. Yeah, this is good. I'm really glad I started trading US 30 because it's really helpful when Nasdaq isn't really having good price action, at least in the beginning. Right now, it kind of looks like it's clearing up, but something with Nasdaq is just like if it starts out weird, it's gonna most likely be weird throughout the day. You know, I could take another trade on these accounts. This is now basically break even. The longs look strong on both Nasdaq and US 30, but they are both at a really strong area of resistance. So I do think the buying needs to be very strong in order for us to break these highs. All right, I'm going to take a buy on US 30, not on my main accounts. I'm already done with my main accounts. This is honestly a gamble here. And put my stop at 36. I like this 1 minute candle close. Okay. I'm gonna put a tight stop on this. 47. If I lose this trade, I'll call it a day. Yeah, I lost a trade because it's not an A plus setup. Like I said, it was a gamble. These are not my main accounts. I mean, I'm still green out of the week on these. These are like my side pieces. You know, this is something on the side here. We're still green out of the week on them. I'm gonna focus on these. I'm gonna focus on these. Yeah, yeah. That was a gamble right there. Dang, even if I had a wider stop, I would have gotten stopped out most likely. Ignore that trade. Ignore that trade. That didn't count. I was lagging there. Have you paid your taxes? I get a question on taxes every day. Have you paid taxes? Trading profits already? No, I haven't. Just want to know how it does work when it comes to taxes. Well, what I do know is that I do have a lot of business expenses from last year, so I'm hoping that that lowers, what I have to pay for taxes. But I don't know. We'll see. I do have to meet up with a tax person. No, but it's something that I should talk about more because it's not talked about enough with trading. It is definitely a big part of, I mean, not just traders, everyone's life. But as traders, like, is way different than just getting a W-2 form and, like, doing the taxes yourself. Way different than that. So, when I do the taxes, I feel like I should do a video on it because it's so did you open your LLC by yourself or with an accountant? I opened the LLC with someone who knows what they were doing, which was my cousin. He's opened like many LLCs, and he's, what do you call it? He's financially literate. Like he knows a lot about that stuff, and he helped me open up the LLC. And it was actually like way cheaper doing it yourself than paying like a website to do the LLC. Because the websites, if you want to make a LLC on a website, it'll be like $700, $600 with all like the extra bullshit they ask you to pay for. If you do it by yourself, you just have to pay like the state and like another thing. How did you learn to accept a loss? How did I become this disciplined? I mean, I learned to accept a loss throughout time. Like, it did take time, but also just like, you know, not not letting it bother me. Like, not taking it personal. Yes, I took a loss. Doesn't mean I'm a bad trader. It just means I took a loss today. And it's also like if you take a loss and you're bothered by it, most likely that second trade is going to be like a not a good trade. It's going to be an emotional trade. So that's why you also have to be fine with taking losses. So your second trade could be like, you know, an actual good one, not like an emotional one. And then becoming disciplined with trading, like I would say at first you need to have discipline in your real life. That way it'll be easier on the charts. Doing things you don't want to do. And then after that it's just a skill you've learned. Like before I used to stress about like my morning routine, like it needs to be like perfect because if it's not perfect, da da da. I used to think that way. But now it's like it literally doesn't matter what I do in the day or what I do in the morning. It just matters what I do on the charts. It's crazy how much my thing has changed like within the past couple months. Like I used to stress out about like not meditating before I trade or something. But now it's just like I rarely meditate before I trade. What I try to do in the morning before I trade is like wake up, listen to music, get in a good mood, and tell myself like if you take a loss, it's fine. Just take it slow. If you take a loss, keep it small. That way it doesn't bother you. That's another thing with taking a loss is like I don't take it personal because it doesn't bother me as much as well because I keep it slow. Or sorry, I keep it low. Like I don't risk a crazy amount. Like with this first trade here, with all of my trades on these accounts, I've only been risking 250 to 300. So every time I take a loss, it's like a planned loss. It's a loss that doesn't bother me as much because it's small. That's a huge thing right there. Cuz if you think about it, if you take a loss and like it really bothered you, it was most likely an unplanned loss. It was a loss that you didn't really want to lose. It was a loss that maybe you risked too much on, so it bothers you more. That's another thing to keep in mind. I blew 3 accounts and it's just using so much of my money that I worked for, feeling upset. Yeah, you gotta slow down. That's something I recently, not recently, but you learn throughout time is like, even though the accounts are not expensive, it does add up. So you should take it slow, even if it's like I don't know a $19 evaluation. You have to take it serious because that shit adds up. All right, let me journal this really quick, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Sheep. How the heck? Okay, let's take this out. Okay, boom. Yeah, today was a nice day. Another thing that's changed with my mindset is before I used to really stress or like really get anxious about trading in the morning, like before I actually traded, because I only wanted to win. But now it's changed to the point where like I don't overthink about it as much. If I start to overthink about like, damn, what if I lose? Da da da. It's just like, what if you lose? Like, it'll be small. It'll be a small loss. Take it slow. Yeah, my mindset's definitely changed a lot. It's actually crazy. Like I don't overthink as much now about if I win or lose a trade. It's just I just execute the plan. That's it. Yes, I do make mistakes sometimes, but like overall it's in a good way. Okay, where was my entry here? So I sold at 7.99 and I bought at 89. 89. Boom. All right. So, wow. I missed out on 10 points there. I only got not only, but I thought I got 120 points. But it's probably cuz I closed out a bit early there. I got 110 points on US 30, and then my stop is usually 50 points, but I do know that it was around 57 cuz I did put it a bit higher there. Nothing crazy though. I probably risked like 280 on this trade. Okay, I took shorts on US 30 after it tapped a 90-minute zone and started breaking. Okay, I took shorts on US 30 after it tapped a 90-minute supply zone and started breaking structure to the downside. That entry could have been earlier, like up here, but I wanted to wait for extra confirmation, so it was around this area. And that was that. I'm not going to journal this second trade because, like I said, those accounts are like not my serious accounts. Those are my side pieces, okay? So I'm not gonna journal that third trade. Obviously, that third trade was like complete gamble. I said it. I said it when I took it. Okay, and that was that. All right. Well, do you think the NQ longs look clean? Yeah, they've looked clean for a while. I mean, I think the move up, yeah, it's already up or almost 300 points since open. So I do think it'll slow down. Like, I mean, it's already kind of slowing down, but I do think Nasdaq has a lot of upside potential. I mean, I'm thinking pretty bullish on this. Yeah. Like I said, I thought if price got above this 965, I said I think it could get up here, this 4 hour supply zone, the 250s, 260. I do think there is a lot of upside potential. I just don't think it'll be like a straight line up. I think there's gonna be a slower move up. Yeah, today was a good day. I think for Nasdaq, maybe a couple people got chopped up with this price action here. and then the move happened. But I think that's the pattern for February that we've seen a lot, is a choppy open for Nasdaq, and then later on, in today's case, it happened. What time did it happen at? 9:55. That's not even that late. But it was a couple minutes of just choppy price action, and then it clears out. I've seen that a lot this month. So it's just something to keep in mind, for the rest of the month or for the rest of the week. Is just, if it starts out choppy, just be patient, wait for it to clear out. So, are you not trading FOMC? Today's not the actual FOMC. Okay, it's FOMC minutes. If you don't know, FOMC minutes is not like the actual FOMC. What I've seen with FOMC minutes is literally nothing. It's like flat price action. That's what I've mostly seen with FOMC minutes. So if you're planning to full port an account for FOMC minutes, it's not gonna go that good. Okay, it's just not, because the volume's not gonna be as crazy as the regular FOMC is. All right, well, that was it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a good day. Wait, is today? Oh, today's Wednesday. I literally, that just clicked in my head here. Today's Wednesday, which is usually a losing day for me. Let's look at my stats. Let's look. Oh, okay, this is good. My stats are looking pretty good for the month. Last week we had a losing week. I was down 11K, but in 3 winning days, we've made back the losses plus more. So that's really good. I do plan on keeping size small for the rest of the week. I mean, keeping it regular. If I have a losing day, I want to try my best to keep it very small. That's the goal. That's the goal. Damn, this P&L actually looks insane. But it's really not. It's not that crazy. It's literally just 20 accounts. In reality, the profit is this plus 2,000. So in reality, I've made for about 5,000 almost in profit on these accounts, which is nothing crazy. Okay, it's just they're added on top of each other, so it really compounds into an insane number. All right, well, don't be on the charts all day. You're trading for freedom, not just money. So if you caught a win, take your win, enjoy the day. Don't be greedy.